23-year marriage, there it goes. Well, it finally happened. After so many years of trying to save this marriage, I think it's finally over. We had a petty argument and it ended up into a full-blown meltdown. All sort of nasty things fell out of my mouth, and the same for her. She went to her room and I went to mine. We have been sleeping in separate rooms for the last year. I am sure the kids heard the noise. But they did not ask, so I did not say anything. Tomorrow will be a different day. I have been trying to save this marriage for so long, but the wifey just never did anything to help. I took the position that it was my fault, although I knew in my heart that it was not. So, I am finally ready to give up. I am not asking for advice. I am just venting. However, if there is anyone out there that ended their marriage in a dramatic way like this, I would like to hear from you. I am venturing into new territory now, so I am a bit apprehensive as to what to expect. She acts like a mother to me more than a wife, so I am frequently left out of decision-making and having a say-so in issues. Most of the time I feel like I am left on the sidelines while she carries on with her life. She basically ignores me more than anything else. Like most couples, we were very much in love and life was great early on, but things changed over the years and we basically grew apart. The difference is I was always sensitive to the state of our relationship and tried to live in a way to keep conflict to a minimum. So, I frequently avoided telling her how I felt, or my opinion on many issues. Big mistake. Now I know. She is very happy carrying on with her life, which is very private now. I have no idea what is going on in her life because she does not share anything with me anymore. Locks her phone, dropped me as a Facebook friend, and goes to her room when on the phone so I can't hear her conversation. She wants to separate, and I finally decided it's time to let her go. I told her she is free to leave, but she wants me to leave instead. She claims it's because she does not think I can take care of our 18-year-old daughter. But I don't buy it. She does not do much for her now, and whatever there is to do, I am sure I can do it. Most of the doing now is getting her into college, which I can manage. A year ago, I was okay to be the one to move out because I was thinking of her more than me. That has changed. I have grown some recently and I started to think about my welfare and needs for a change. I have been the classist nice guy all my life and I finally realized it. So, since she wants to end our marriage and break up the family, she should be the one to leave. I am on a journey to break out of the nice guy syndrome and find myself again. I have been putting the needs of others before my own needs for so long I don't even know who the real me is anymore. It will take some time, but now I feel I will be okay, and I know there is someone out there for me. One day I will meet someone to love and who will love me back. I am learning a lot from this experience, so the next time around I will be better prepared to do things the right way to give love every possible chance to last a lifetime. W is still not talking at all except for the day-to-day stuff. I have been communicating by email and text messages since she does not want to talk. She used to reply, but now she has stopped replying to my emails and texts. It's a waste of time to continue, so I sent her another email saying I will stop bothering her. Since she does not want to communicate, I decided I will leave her alone and stop trying. This won't help, but I am completely out of ideas. Some days I wish she would just leave so I can move on. I can't get myself to leave. I tried last year and couldn't. My last child will be out of high school this summer and I feel this will be when we go our separate ways. Well, she said that a few months ago, that's why I know. I still love her so much and want her back more than anything else. But I feel I have tried for too long and now I feel like I am beating a dead horse. I'm just about ready to completely give up. I would love for her to be my best friend. We were not in the past, but I know we can if she is willing. We don't talk at all except about the mechanics of day-to-day life. I have a need to share intimate details about what is going on inside me, and she is the only one I would want to share these things with. I cannot share these things with my mom, sister, brother, friends, or anyone else I can think of. I did see a counselor last year and this was helpful with venting all that I had. Unfortunately, he was not very good and did not help with saving my marriage. Wife told me she lost her feelings for me at least 2 years ago. It's probably longer. She also said the thought of bonding with me is sickening. Her exact words, talk about a blow to my self-esteem as a man. In a few months my 2 kids will decide if they will leave to go to college or stay home and go locally. If they choose to stay, I will tell them likely I will be splitting up with their mother. And they will need to decide who they want to live with. If one or both of them wants to stay with me, I will stay in the house and ask her to leave. If neither one of them wants to live with me, I will leave. If they leave to go to college, I will leave. I am tired of trying and it's time to end the misery and move on. So hopefully it will all end soon. I have resigned myself to leaving her alone. So, I don't even attempt to say anything to her anymore. The house is very quiet these days. I basically live upstairs and she live downstairs. Is there another man? Possible, but I don't know. I do know she has male friends she talks to about her emotional issues. Emotional affair is possible, Pa. At this point I prefer not to spy to find out if there is an affair going on because it will only make things even more difficult for me. I fully expect for one of us to move out within the next 2-3 months, so I see no point in adding to my pain by probing in her life. Not recognizable. It's difficult to get through each day living together in the same house without talking to the one you love. Yesterday we walked past each other in the house without even saying a word. The anxiety is very high and I am trying hard to keep from saying anything that will start an argument, so I don't say anything. I agree it's better to get out now and end it, as bad as it is. I cannot get myself to leave right now. I told her she can leave anytime she wants, but she has not left yet. Said a night I dreamed we were together again and I woke up feeling really good, only to realize it was only a dream. This is torture. My daughter's court date is in 2 days, so I am a bit anxious what will happen with her. I'm praying it's only probation or community service. These are rough days for my kids also. I think I will stick with the plan to wait another month to see what the kids will decide to do with college before I decide what to do with my life. I will keep trying my best to keep the peace in the house until then. I am looking forward to the day when all this is behind me and I can start living again. I have been working on making myself a better man, husband, and father for the past year. Doing more around the house, helping her out, spending time with the kids, etc. The biggest change I made was to give up drinking. This was a big problem for her and I made the change. It was not easy, but I did it for me, my wife, my kids, and my marriage. I tried romancing her for a few months, but she was not responsive at all, so I stopped. Here is the reality. She has moved on, that's why she stopped talking to me. Do not want anything from me, flowers, birthday gifts, dinner, movie, nothing. I offered her the world, house, car, vacation. When she says something it's very brief and cold, yes, no. She is emotionless. All her phone conversation is in her room, so I can't hear what she is saying. We sleep in separate rooms. She has a lot of resentment that she refuses to let go of. She does not believe she did anything wrong to hurt the marriage. She is always right. The kids are closer to her. She does not share anything with me. She has many male friends I don't know. Just typing this list made me realize how bad things are. This is depressing, so I will stop now. After a year of trying anything I could think of to save my marriage without success. I am too tired to continue. I gave my wife an ultimatum. Either she starts doing something to save this marriage also or leave. More on how I delivered that ultimatum later. She is the one that want to end the marriage. On more than one occasion recently, she told me she has already moved on and I should do the same. I could not bring myself to do that because I still love her very much and I want to keep my marriage so much. It is difficult for me to give up on a 23-year marriage and a 30-year relationship. We met in high school and we were each other's first real love. I feel I am the victim of the classist walkaway wife syndrome. Let me explain. About 5 years ago our relationship started going downhill. We were still happy, but there were problems. Kids were in high school and my daughter had about 4 years left. I believe she planned her exit strategy at that time. Her strategy was to wait until my daughter finished high school. And then she would leave. Well, guess what? My daughter will graduate from high school this summer. And my wife has checked out and ready to walk away from the marriage. So, I see no reason to continue trying and suffering when there is no hope left, emotionally. I am better prepared now to finally move on. It's still painful every time it hits me that the only woman I truly loved for my entire life is leaving me. But I am ready to move on now more than ever before. She has not said what she will do, although we still live together. She does not speak to me, so I communicate through email and text message. I sent the ultimatum I mentioned earlier through an email. So far, she has not replied to it, so I am still waiting. This is it for me. I will move on one way or the other. If she refuses to leave, then I will leave. If I leave, it's because I don't want to continue suffering. If I left, I'm afraid my kids will see me as the one who abandoned the family. That's why I don't want to be the one to leave. She wants to end our marriage, so she should be the one to leave. Not me. Update. Well, she replied to my email. She will not leave now. She will wait for 2 months for my daughter to finish school, then she will decide what to do. I think she already decided what she will do, she just does not want to tell me so I can remain in limbo. Well, I told her it's okay with me, I don't have a choice anyway, so I guess it's a waiting game for the next 2 months. I plan to just be patient. 2 months will go by really quick. In the meantime, I will leave her alone and focus on myself and my kids. I feel pretty stable emotionally right now, so I think I will be okay for 2 months. Things are extremely quiet at home, now that I have stopped talking, texting, emailing also. It's scary how much she is determined to stick to the silent treatment strategy. Now, instead of spending time and energy thinking about her happiness, saving the marriage, trying, worrying, being depressed, I am spending that time and energy on the man in the mirror. Me, now it's my time to live my life the way I choose to. I have been reading about manning up, how to be happy, how to move on from a failed marriage, and basically getting my mind prepared for a new life without the STBX. I'm not waiting in limbo any longer to see what she decides in 2 months. I am starting to live my life today the way I choose to live it. Whenever it ends, I will survive and keep on living my life my way. Something I should have done a long time ago. What a liberating feeling. Wish me luck. Somewhere along the road of life we wake up one day and realize the allotted time we have is running out. And if we are not happy, we make the pursuit of happiness a priority. Unfortunately, many times this results in the so running out and having fun with someone, then walks away from the marriage leaving a trail of emotional destruction. All we can do is let go and move on with our own lives. Some of us do have morals and values and will not cheat on our so. Not everyone has those values. It's great to be alive, and happiness is out there for all of us if we only allow ourselves to go out and get it. When we reach the fork in the road, we must decide which path to take, continue along the path of unhappiness trying to hold on to the so that has already checked out, or the new path without the so which holds the promise of living life your way, by your rules, with a glimpse of happiness in the horizon. I chose the latter. Kids are leaving for college in the fall, so I will stay in the house until they leave, then it's time for us to split up. She has made it clear she has zero interest in continuing the marriage. I will ask her to leave. If she refuses, I will leave. I have decided I will not make an issue of who leaves. Mainly for my own peace of mind. I will not be taken advantage of anymore, however. But I do plan to be fair with her. If she decides to get nasty, I will get nasty too. No more Mr. Nice guy. Still not sure if I should see a lawyer at this point. The kids are grown and not an issue. Not much equity in the house, so no point fighting over it. We are still cordial, but I can feel the anger deep down starting to surface, so we need to physically separate soon before the love turns into hate. It's over, so the best thing to do is move on with dignity. I feel like I have finally turned the corner and I am ready to move on. I only hope this is over soon and with as little drama as possible. By the way, it's my birthday today, and yesterday was our 24 anniversaries. I don't know if I would push for divorce right away. She does not want a divorce for religious reasons. Catholic, so, for now I will focus on splitting up and see how it goes. In time I will file for a divorce. I do not want to continue to be legally attached to her while moving on with my life. I figure once we are no longer living together, the divorce should be easier to do. For most of the past year I have been avoiding home, so I spent most of my time somewhere else when not at work, bars, golf, driving range, friend's house, staying out late on weekends. And when at home I spent most of my time upstairs in the game room. I also sleep in the upstairs guest room. Seems like I am the guest in my own home that I pay a big fat mortgage for. But now, I don't plan to do that anymore. I love to stay home, and that is what I intend to do. I do not like the streets because it's dangerous, and it's only a matter of time before I get in trouble. I am not a street walker. My STBXs had a near miss last weekend, so even more reason to stay off the streets before it's too late. I will be home a lot more now, downstairs, in my kitchen cooking, in my living room watching TV, in my backyard vegetable garden, garage, and spending more time with my kids, who also spend a lot of time downstairs. Since she lives downstairs, I will be in her face a lot more now, so the tension is sure to grow. I have basically been running away from facing her and the reality of the end of my marriage, but now I will face my reality. I plan to be cordial and try to be friends, but I will stand my ground and I will not put up with any BS she sends my way. Don't know if this is a good idea, but I will find our real soon. I'm tired of running away, so now it's time to face the music and start dancing. Let's party. Kids got me a cake for my birthday, got a snarl from the wifey. Oh well, no surprise there. I wasn't expecting anything from her anyway. Watched a movie in the living room with my son last night. It's been a while since I did that and I enjoyed it very much. Son invited the wifey and she came and watched the movie with us. No word from her during the movie. When the movie was over, I went to bed, needless to say. The tension in the living room was pretty high. Let's see what tonight brings. I plan to do some cooking in my kitchen. Even if she wanted to stay with me, her pride will never let it happen. I cannot remember her ever saying she was sorry for anything. She has too much false pride to say sorry. This is just an example. I apologized to her for my misdeeds, and I forgave her for hers. I am not letting my pride end my marriage. Unfortunately, it's not up to me only. I dated my wife for 2 years and lived together for 6 before we got married. I was sure she was the one when we got married because I had plenty time to know her well. The problem is she changed over the years, as do many people. Some people don't change much, but some change in significant ways through the years. And that is an unknown when you make the commitment to get married. The lesson I have learned to deal with this situation is, marriage is a continuous work in progress. And I stress work. It's a lifetime of conscious effort and awareness in caring and growing your marriage. I did not know this for the past 22 years of my marriage. I took my wife for granted, thinking she will never leave me, just like my mom never left my dad. So, I did not put any out of the ordinary effort to work on my marriage. I just went on cruise control and lived life as it came. Unfortunately, my wife did not put any effort in working on our marriage either. So it's not surprised we are on the verge of walking away from each other. We had many good years, and many bad years. The worst years were the last ones. I am starting to really feel it now since I decided to face my reality. It's clear our marriage is over and the only thing left to do is bury it and move on with dignity. Dragging it on while living together is very painful every single day. I'm thinking I should get busy and move out the house ASAP. She obviously is not in a hurry to move out. I feel if I stay too long, the little love I still have for her will turn into hate. And that will cause life at home to deteriorate rapidly. Just a gut feeling. It's one day at a time for me now, but I think it's time to start making things happen and stop waiting. People like my STBX who don't try to learn, work, talk, change, etc., to try and save the marriage have little to bring to the table in their next relationship. Basically, they will continue from where they left off and get the likely results. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. If they did not put the time and effort into learning why their first marriage failed, then the second marriage will be doomed as they utter I do. Right now, the furthest thing from my mind is another relationship. I don't know what the future holds for me, but at 49, time is not on my side. I suspect my wife was never really attracted to me either. It's easy to tell from her behavior and the way she has treated me over the years. I asked her this very question recently and she said it was absolutely not true. But I don't believe her. Someone who is attracted to you will naturally act a certain loving way because of that attraction. And she did not treat me in a loving way at all. I went into depression last year from the pending loss of my marriage. I had to go on medication and see a therapist to get over that phase. Thank God I am over the depression and able to function relatively normally at work, home and elsewhere. Now, I am facing the end of my marriage and I am feeling the same feelings I had when I went into depression. The difference is I recognize what is happening and I will not allow myself to go into depression again. She is not worth it. This is why action will replace worrying this time around. Last night my daughter informed me she was not leaving for college after all. Instead, she will live at home and attend college locally, so this changes everything in my thought process regarding staying or leaving. My daughter prefers to stay with her mom. She said this a few months back when I was planning to move out, so either I move out, or my daughter and wife both move out. I don't want my daughter to suffer because her parents are splitting up. So I will move out. So, the time for talking is over. Now it's time for actions. Over the weekend I spoke to her about moving out. We had a nice conversation and she was open about how she feels. End result is I am moving out and she will keep the house. I told her I will move out ASAP even before the kids left for college. Well, that plan did not last for long. After only a day of letting the idea of moving out sink in, I realized I couldn't do it, unfortunately. This was not the first time. About 9 months ago I got an apartment and was ready to move out, but the day before moving day I had a panic attack and could not go through with it. I wasn't ready emotionally. I told her this yesterday. She laughed at me sarcastically and said I need to get over it and move on. What the hell? I'm sure she sees me as a big wuss, but I am who because I still care so much for her. I'm positive if I did not give a crap about her I would act completely different. Anyway, the new plan is to wait till the kids leave in 2 months, then we will see who leaves. I am good with this plan and it gives me 2 more months with my kids before they leave. She is okay with waiting, but I did not say anything about who will leave at that time. She probably assumes it will still be me. But I don't know if that will be the case at that time. I told her she is free to leave anytime she wants, but she wants me to leave instead even though she is the one that wants out of the marriage. Go figure. Well, I really don't know how I would feel about leaving in 2 months anymore. I started to emotionally detach from her and hopefully time will be on my side and every day that passes will bring further detachment. When the kids are gone, and if she still refuses to leave, I don't know how far I will be willing to go to stay. If by then my love is replaced with hatred, which could happen, I may just go a lot further than I have been willing to so far to get her out of the house. Just because I want to be a bad guy about it and make her feel some pain for a change. Don't know how far, but I probably won't be handing over the keys with a smile and well wishes. Who knows? Only time will tell. I know deep down she should be the one to leave the house since she is the one leaving the marriage. She hurt me once by leaving me. Now she wants to hurt me again by asking me to leave the house. I know I am justified in staying, but doing it is the hard part. When the time comes in 2 months, I hope I have the conviction you have in staying. I want to stay in my house and move on at my own pace when I am alone in it. She should not dictate to me when I should leave my house. She lost that privilege when she decided to leave our marriage. I need strength. Hopefully I would find it when the kids leave and I don't have to worry about walking on eggshells because they are in the house. Spoke to her last night about moving out again. I admitted my weakness in not being able to move out on more than one occasion. So, I made it clear to her that one sure way to end this marriage is for her to move out. I told her the kids will be gone by the end of next month and there is no reason for us to continue living together. And I do not want to continue to live with her any longer. So, I asked her to move out when the kids are gone, and I was surprised at her answer. In a low voice, almost mumbling, she said yes, she will move out. My spirit rose immediately. Now I don't know if she really means it or not, but only time will tell. I will leave this alone for now and see what happens. We are starting to separate things like finances, insurance, etc., in anticipation of the split. I know I am ready now because I feel great today. This is the first time I have felt good knowing a decision has been made to separate. I will know for sure in about 6 weeks. Keeping fingers crossed that the end is near. My own emotional affair, the loneliness and lack of affection finally took its toll, and the opportunity to fill this need presented itself. And I took it. Although I am going through an in-house separation, I did not want to do this because I am messing up my own boundary, but emotions ruled, and I surrendered. The feelings are indescribable. I feel alive. I have not felt this alive in, like, forever. I know I am playing with fire. But this is the reality. I hope there is a good ending to this. Right now, I cannot see beyond today. So I am taking this one day at a time. This crap we have to go through with losing the one we love is pure hell. Having an affair is the worst way to escape. It feels good at the time, but you end up paying the price for using it. One way or the other. God help us all. I prefer to wait until this relationship is over before moving on. I have learned so much over the past year that I want to bring to my next relationship. I have already suffered deep pain in this relationship. I doubt it can get worse. But only time will tell, hopefully. She moves out in about 2 months. And then it will finally be over. I spoke with my friend last night, actually all day until 2 a.m. this morning. We have been getting close over the past few days. And she wants to make it physical. And me too. So, I tried to communicate this to her, and it did not go well. She is also married in a fake relationship. She is sleeping in a separate bedroom for the past 14 years. I could only imagine the horror. I told her we should go slow since we are both still married. She was already getting emotionally attached to me, and she was very hurt when I asked her to slow down. I was not happy myself. But, after a few hours of very intimate conversation about the scars in our lives, we were able to move past that point and agreed to be friends without emotional attachments. Her need for physical intimacy is strong, and she still wants to get physical without getting emotionally attached. And I agreed, this may not be a good idea, because I feel it's easy to get emotionally attached once we get physical. I had a history of sometimes not knowing the difference between physical love and emotional love. I don't expect anything to happen soon since it's a long-distance relationship, but it's a small world, and a plane ticket and a long weekend can happen easily. I told her I would prefer to wait until I am physically separated, before getting involved with her. She is not planning to leave her husband right now. So I know this will not be a healthy relationship if we do get together. I would really hate to leave a bad relationship only to start an unhealthy. So I am a bit lost right now. She makes me feel alive for the first time in years. I was so used to being down and depressed, it became my new normal. I don't feel like I am suppressing my bad feelings, but I sure forget about them when I am with her. I am prepared to go through the pain of ending my marriage. The thing is, it has been over for years now, but we are still living together. So, the dragging has taken its toll on me. And last year I went into depression. I am better now, and that is why I want this to be over so bad. We are on the verge of having an IA because we both expressed an interest in getting both emotional and physical. Basically, we are both on the verge of falling in love. As I just posted, last night I asked her to slow down and she was very hurt but agreed, so just friends for now and we will see what happens after a couple of months. I don't plan to go any further with the emotional affair, and definitely no physical affair. I will back off. And we already agreed to be friends. We both know we are in a no-win situation, so in a few days I think we will get back to reality and just be friends. It's a long-distance relationship after all. So the distance will help to keep us apart, even if we still wanted to get together. I need to be the responsible one here. I know my marriage is over. But hers is not. It would be wrong of me to enter the picture and get between her and her husband. I am chatting with her as I write this. She just told me she and her husband have problems, but she still loves him. That is enough for me. So, I will definitely back off and just be friends. Our conversation has been very spicy so far. So I will have to cool it down a lot. This really sucks, but I know it's the right thing to do. I would not want another man to do this to me. So I won't do it to him. We have been talking a lot about where our relationship is going, and it's becoming clear that it's not going anywhere. We are both in the fog right now. So far, we have agreed to be friends and leave it at that for now. I told her I don't want to go any further now. I need to wait for a couple of months for things to change for me. Once I am physically separated from my wife, I consider my marriage over. And I will not wait for the divorce proceedings before moving on. I know it's better to wait before I start fishing, but that is easier said than done, especially when it's right in front of your face. So, right or wrong, I likely will get physical with someone. But my intent will be to not get emotionally attached. That sounds cold, but there are many women out there that want the same thing, believe it or not. That's the fact. Many people, me included, want physical intimacy without the emotional attachment, usually. It's people like me that have been burned by love and want to stay as far away from it as they can. Booty call is the technical term, I believe. I really want to wait at least until next year before I consider getting emotionally attached to someone. So that's the plan anyway. Let's see how the execution of the plan goes. My comment: have you gotten in an affair before? Comment down below and tell us how you got out of it.